Welcome to Failing for You, where I'll fail so you don't have to, or even better yet, so you can too. Hey everybody, it's Jordan Yates here. Welcome back to another episode of Failing for You. This week it's going to be a solo episode, mostly because I have just been slammed and at events every single day, and I will be pretty much through, I guess, until the day that you're hearing this. So I didn't have time to coordinate with anybody and get someone else scheduled and on. And it's so much faster for me to just hop on and talk to you guys for a bit than it is for me to coordinate and schedule that. So please forgive me, no guest this week, but we're going to have a really awesome guest next week. That being said, I want to move into the episode, and this episode is going to be geared towards creating technical content, but how you should go about it if you have a subject that's kind of boring and you want to make it fun and relatable. That's kind of the bread and butter of what I do. Like, I have my own company, Jordan Yates Marketing, where I will help companies make technical content. But the reason I actually felt inspired to do the episode today is because I went to HughesTech's, I guess, a few days ago now, and I was there and I had some people who let me record their demos and were really excited about me recording them. And then I had some that were kind of like, oh, no, please, like, I can't be in front of a camera, like, get him to do it. And then him would come and they would be, no, get him to do it. And they were all so camera shy. And granted, they're engineers, that's expected. I wasn't shocked by it. But then I was a little disappointed that they didn't have more faith in themselves, because they had just given me an awesome demo. But then all of a sudden, we bring the camera into the situation and they're like horrified and they're like, I can't do that. And I'm like, what do you mean? You literally just did, and you did amazing. You're telling me that you can't do the same thing again if I turn a camera on? I was like, you don't even have to look at it. And so, long story short, I did get some cool videos, but it inspired me to talk to you guys about maybe some tips and tricks of creating technical content for, say, like things I'm doing, like manufacturing related, engineering related, or maybe just a concept that isn't typically too interesting, and the only person that can speak to it is a super technical person who isn't good in front of the camera. So I'm going to give you a few tips today, and these are what they're going to be over. 1, how to stop being camera shy as an engineer. 2, how you, not as the engineer, but how someone can help the engineer be less camera shy. So it's twofold. It's going to be advice to the engineer and then advice to the person working with the engineer. How to help engineers record technical content without sounding boring. So this is all kind of, it's going to be answered within, the same style of answer, because they're all pretty related. And then how to create a video without faking the enthusiasm. I'm going to get more into this, but the reason this topic came up is because somebody asked me when I was recording, how do you fake being enthusiastic all day? And I said, sir, what do you mean? Your machine is so cool. I'm not faking it. I genuinely think it's awesome. And he's like, really? I was like, are you kidding me? This CNC machine is crazy. Do you see what I'm seeing? And he's like, so you really are excited and enthusiastic about this? And I was like, yeah, why else would I be making a video if I wasn't excited? So that spurred the tip of how to create a video without using fake enthusiasm, okay? So I'm gonna get started with my actual, not even just a tip, but a method. So this method, to basically answer all of those questions and tips I'm going to get into, covers it all for just about everyone. It can cover helping engineers that are camera shy. It's a prerequisite for those who are trying to not fake enthusiasm, but they want to seem enthusiastic. It's going to be a good prereq for just about all of those, okay? And this is going to be what the episode is titled, and that is Love Letters to Your Technical Content. Now, what does that mean? This is weird, right? Am I starting to sound weird? Okay. Give me a chance, please. Let me explain myself. So, I think that the reason that technical content is usually typically boring or feels very forced is because either the person that understands it well enough to speak on it is camera shy and not very emotionally connected with the product, but they know the tech specs. Okay, that's fine. Or the person is a salesperson and they don't understand it very well and they're just being fed lines of features and benefits and they're just kind of showing up and throwing up. And sure, they sound good, like their tone is good, their body language is good, but there's still a disconnect because they don't understand the product. So, this is the method of writing a love letter to whatever product you're going to be talking about in your video. Let me give you an example. I brought this up briefly on the Mavens of Manufacturing podcast that I went live on today, which I guess will have been over a week ago when you're listening to this now, but I'll give you an example. So imagine you are a sales engineer, regular engineer, whatever you are. You're a person who is tasked with making a video about a vision system. Okay, cool. Now, as a regular person in this role, you think it's a vision system. I know that it has the AI. I know it has the edge detection. I know it has all these things. And you want to get in front of the camera, and your first reaction is, let me tell you all these things I know about it. Okay. Now, if that method works so well, keep doing it. But I have a feeling it may not be. So, my suggestion is in some sort of form, whether you're writing this down or you're just doing it as a thought experiment, I want you to put yourself in the position of the person who will be using it. So say you're selling this vision system to a medical device manufacturer and the person who will be working the assembly line that it's going on. So say you're the assembly line worker and you are thinking about how this vision system is going to impact you. Or maybe even better yet, to help you relate more, you're an assembly worker, but you also you have to troubleshoot it when it goes down. Like you do a lot. So rather not you write this down, I want you to go with me. Dear vision system, this is our letter, if I didn't preface that correctly. This is me pretending to be the person I'm selling it to. And what I am about to say out loud is going to be the love letter I'm writing to the vision system. Dear vision system, you are so wonderful. I love you so much. Why do I love you? Well, let me think about it. What makes you so lovely? Well, ever since you came into my life, it's gotten so much easier. Before you, we tried to integrate robots to help us, and honestly, they weren't that great because they were always missing where they were supposed to pick up the parts, and I was having to work harder. Oh, vision system, my life before you, so much work. I was doing so many menial tasks because we kept trying to automate our systems, but they just were not accurate. They did not do what they were supposed to do, oh vision system. But thankfully, since you came into my life, things are working the way they're supposed to. Why is that? Why did they work so well? Well, for one, your image quality is amazing. You're so good. And I love that about you, vision system. I love the way that you integrate so seamlessly with the cobot that's on the line that was supposed to be helping me. Vision system, what would I do without you? You know what I like about you even more? Dare I say love? The way that your software is just so easy to interface with. It's amazing. The fact that somebody without a technical degree, can go in and troubleshoot you and not have a headache afterward. Oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you. This is why I love you. Vision system, without you, this line would not work the way it does. I would be doing so much more manual labor because we would not be able to automate without your contribution. You know what, vision system? Since you've come into my life, when I go home at night, I'm not in a bad mood anymore because my day at work is a lot easier. It's a lot happier. My back doesn't hurt as bad. And that's thanks to you. It's thanks to you because you have all of these amazing qualities about you that have impacted my work life. Thanks to you, I have more time to do management training and finally get that promotion I want. That's why I love you, Vision System. And I hope to see you again soon. But for now, I'll leave you with that. And scene. Okay, so I know you're thinking this girl is crazy, and I'm not going to fight you on that. All right, I won't. There's validity there. But do you see how I just connected with that vision system? It went from being like, hey, this is a camera, it has AI capabilities, and you can integrate it with your robot, and it can pick in place with your robot because it has good 3D detection and the interface is really user friendly. Yeah, boring. So I want you to think about somebody who beforehand, like an engineer or a salesperson, had no emotional connection to that vision system. Then you go through that thought process, or heck, even better, you wrote that down. Imagine how much more enthusiastic you're going to be after creating a video for this product that you basically just fell in love with, okay? Because stuff is more quality when it comes from the heart. And I know it is so hard to emotionally connect with, I don't know, technical products because they're technical products, they're engineering products. There's no emotion there. They just do the thing and that's great. But do you want to watch somebody talk about a product that they think is boring? No. So why would you create a video that is boring? Then no one will watch it. Then why are you wasting your time creating the video in the first place? Then everyone's wasting their time. We don't like to waste time. Life is short. It is so short. So hear me out. Next time you have to make a technical content video, I want you to give that a try. I want you to write, or at least mentally go through, a love letter to your product you're going to make a video on. And then I want you to tell me how that worked out for you. And if it helped, wonderful. If not, let me know. We can do some more intense training, okay? But I think that thought experiment is very fun. So that's my one take home tip for you. And I don't like to give you guys too many just like general, like broad, useless ideas. Like I like to give you actionable things because for me, there was a point that I was creating videos a while ago, and here comes my failure, where they really were pretty boring. And it was because one, I was selling them, but I didn't really understand them. Like I think I once made a video about a solenoid, and I was like, this solenoid looks like this. Here's the part number. Here's what the part number means. And like, it was so painfully boring. Okay. Like, I didn't even want to watch my own video. It was just like, I think I was just making it for the sake of making it. So that's already a red flag. But I learned, okay, I need to try making a video about something I'm more knowledgeable about and then learning to love it. So I'm pretty good personally about tricking myself into thinking that I love something. Like when I was in engineering school and had to convince myself I loved physics because I took physics 1, 2, and Cal 2 all in one summer. And it was so hard, okay? So I convinced myself that physics is so much fun and that I love taking tests, which not true. Not a big fan of physics. I was pretty bad at it. But to stay mentally sane that summer, I realized that if I convince myself that I love this, then doing it becomes enjoyable. It becomes something I want to study. It becomes something I'm good at or marginally better at. And so I've taken this weird psychological trick that I do to myself and I've applied it to other things. And For me, luckily, I do find a lot of this stuff in manufacturing and technical content interesting as is. So maybe it's because I brainwashed myself a long time ago, but nowadays I don't have to convince myself. I genuinely find it exciting. But I know that that is rare, and you may not be on the same playing field as me with that. So if you're someone who doesn't find it interesting, or you don't know how to take it from sounding super overly technical into something that sounds more personable, try the love letter. Try emotionally connecting with your product, because then you can more emotionally connect with your customers. Okay. That's my piece on the love letters. One sec, I need a sip of water. So, next, as promised, let me check out my list. How to help engineers not be so camera shy. Oh boy. Now, there's no bulletproof method for this tip, but something that I found successful since I've been helping myself as an engineer and other engineers create content is something that really helps in a product demo, even, is interview styled formats. So I find it that if someone isn't alone on camera and having to come up with every word to fill the space, and they don't have to like look the camera directly and hope that they're not looking weird, that if you put someone next to them, feeding them kind of the storyline that you're trying to go for in the agenda, one, they're going to be less anxious. Two, they're not going to look dead straight at the camera and creep out the people that are watching it. And three, they're going to be more relaxed, because not only do they have more time to think about what they're saying while they're listening to the other person, but they're just less anxious, because then they might forget they're actually on camera. And that is the goal. The goal is to talk to them like you would talk to them any other time. And so maybe they want to practice ahead of time to say, hey, can you show me that demo, and then we'll record, and have them walk you through the demo. If they're the ones who put it together, they're probably going to actually be excited about it and want to show it to you and have enthusiasm. The enthusiasm may come naturally. Sometimes they're not super good at emoting, and you have to pull it out of them a little more and be like, what do you like about XYZ? But that's why, as the moderator of the video or the interviewer, you want to have some questions prepared ahead of time, and you want to have some sort of understanding of the product. So for example, if you're going to get a engineer to demo a robot, then obviously the engineer probably knows the robot well, but the person that's moderating it, maybe they're sales, maybe they're marketing, but they don't understand the robot. Well, let's make sure we sit down ahead of time with them and train them how this works a little bit, and give them some questions to ask, like, hey, engineer, how does this robot work? What programming software does it use? And then they'll tell you, and then you could say, oh wow, so why use this programming software? Is it good? Is it easy to use? Like, will it save people time? Like, just things like that, where you're kind of baiting the questions that will bring out the relatable answers, because that's what people care about. Will this save me time? Will it be easy to integrate? How does it impact my life? Because sure, robots are expensive, and the people making the decision are going to be maybe a higher up manager, executive person that isn't actually interfacing with the robots, but their team is. So make sure you're selling to every level. Don't just focus on the ROI or how many boxes it can make per minute. Think about the person who has to use it and the things that they would want to know about it. And then also include the ROI stuff, but don't leave out the operators. So ask questions that would answer the pain points of what the person using it would be worried about. Okay. So that's how I think is the most effective way to get an engineer on camera and help them when they're afraid of being on video. So basically, to sum that up, get a moderator or an interviewer. I mean, it doesn't have to be interview styled, but just someone to ask them questions. Don't make them do it alone. I'm assuming, unless you're a one-person show and you're the engineer yourself, that you have at least one other person on the team that can put the phone on a tripod and ask the questions. Try that out. If that is something that you are a one person show, you don't have someone else, ask a friend, ask a family member, ask Siri to ask you the questions. I don't know. Or ask me, I can help you. My services are available. I love doing that. I love interviewing technical people about their products because I feel like it's really exciting to watch them talk about something they're passionate about. Now, let me check out my next question that I promised to answer. Well, I think I kind of answered the how to have people not fake enthusiasm and how to help engineers record without sounding boring by the mix of having a moderator and a technical person, plus the exercise of writing a love letter to whatever you're talking about. I think that's a good start. And if you're still struggling, consider outsourcing. If video is very important to you, but you think, you know what, this is something I really want to go well, I really don't know how to do this and it's so hard, outsource. Maybe not every video, but outsource your first one. Ask somebody to come in, someone like me, someone else that's a technical content creator, and have them walk through with you, have them help you get comfortable, have them teach you all the steps, and build that confidence in yourself. Find somebody that can enable you to be confident in what you're doing, and then maybe use them 1 to 2 times. And then after that, you're in a groove, you're experienced, it's not so bad anymore. Start doing it yourself. You don't need someone to make every video for you, probably not, unless you like it. It's totally up to you, but use some resources, invest a little bit, and then above all, practice. Practice, record the video, put yourself out there, and then ask people for honest feedback. It can sting sometimes what they say. Like sometimes I get feedback on my videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, thanks, I think. Like, why would you say that? Like, that was really critical. I know that sucked, but I got nervous and it came out weird. Just think of it as a very just think of it, they're critiquing the work, not you. You can do better. Just think it's a process. If you fail, if you suck, you can only go up from there. So negative comments mean there's more room for positive improvement. Or maybe this is just another thing I brainwashed myself about. I don't know. I think I need to go do some self-reflecting now. But anyways, guys, I wanted to make this week's episode short for 2 reasons. One, like I said, I am so busy this week. And 2, I just felt really passionate about getting this out there and I wanted to tell you guys about it, but I didn't want to have to go get somebody else to talk about it because I'm like, wait, this is my podcast. I can just talk to you guys if I want to. And this week I wanted to. I wanted to connect with you just one-on-one and, just tell you something that I felt passionate about, something I failed at, that you may be failing at, and that I think that we can do better at, and a cool little hack of how you can do better. So thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. All of my socials and emails and websites are in the show notes below. Like I said, obviously I put this content out there for free and you can learn from me or ask me questions anytime. But if you're local-ish, I'm out of Houston, and you want somebody to come coach you, coach your team, or help you create that technical content, reach out to me. I have a business for it. I have a pretty fun approach that I think works good enough and can get you started. So thank you guys so much again for listening. And as always, I'm your host, Jordan Yates. And in the meantime, I'll be failing for you. See you next week. Bye.